was already established by 1776. 1776 is before 1787.
Who they
That means
filed the
the U.S.
Constitution?
Constitution existed before a state even existed.
Who did they file the
Exactly, because
Constitution?
all states are federal territories.
Oh my
Exactly.
goodness.
No,
All
they're
states
not.
are
Again,
all states are
again, the
federal
feds were just
territories.
invented
God
in the
damn.
1900s. The
All
whole
districts
Fed.
are one of the districts of the District of Columbia. What are we talking about here? This is
No,
simple.
no, that's what I'm saying. During the 1860 through 1865, there were two different presidents with two different constitutions.
I
So
mean,
there
that's
was
a whole
no
other
United States.
conversation. You're talking
No,
about a
but
whole
we're
different
talking about the
conversation.
Constitution and when these people started taking over the so-called United States of America.
No,
Okay,
what they've been
how if we
talking
put it in the
about before you
context
got
of
up
our
here,
history right here?
absolutely,
How
what they
about the
were
states
talking.
that had desegregation? Didn't the federal government send troops down to that southern state to make them
Them,
integrate those schools?
yeah, that
Remember
was in
the
1900s.
the southern governor said no, we're not going to integrate, and the federal government said fuck that. Watch this, we're going to send some federal guards down there and
Yeah,
escort these
exactly.
colored girls to school, and that's what
And then
happened. And the states couldn't stop it. They
another
felt
Exactly.
thing
to have
is
more
the
power.
word tax by definition means tribute.
Y'all all over the place.
But that's just an
Tax by
example where the
definition means
federal
tribute.
government has
If
the
we narrow
first,
it down, the
second, and
brother that
last
just said
say.
it about desegregation, right?
Yes, because
Why
remember,
would the federal government need to step in for desegregation laws?
the states in the South still wanted to have segregation, correct? So the federal
And they had
government
no
sent,
laws on the book
No, there
for
were laws on the
segregation.
book that
there
They
made
were
had
them
no
laws on the
laws on the
books.
desegregate.
Oh
books
my
for
God, no.
segregation.
The
Hence,
law came
that's why
before the action,
desegregation
brother.
laws were created. Come on, man.
The law comes before the action.
The federal,
Let's
The
go back
law
to
regardless
the
of what he was
Was it?
saying,
Constitution.
The
What?
regardless
action
of
of
what he was saying,
segregation came
those
after the
schools,
law was
regardless of
put
what
in
he was
place.
saying, those
Yes,
schools were integrated
the first
into
U.S.
federal
Coming
districts.
before the act?
Constitution was the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation were written were written and started their adoption process in 1776 through 1777. They were officially adopted. Its final document, November 15th, 1777. It was ratified by all states by 1781. The first one recognized as a full statehood under this was in
See?
1787.
Delaware.
So
Before that, they were colonies.
before the Constitution can be accepted, it has to be what? You just now said the word.
Ratified.
Ratified.
Exactly. And if
But
all
where was
50
this
states did not ratify it, that means that it was what?
No, there wasn't 50 states. Ding dong.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
if
But
all the
there
states
wasn't
at the
50
we're
time did
states.
talking
not
You're just
about
ratify
saying
it.
something that didn't
territories.
exist.
All right.
There was
Listen,
not
And you're
50
the ding
states.
dong because you
They
just
were
now
territories.
proved
13
yourself wrong.
colonies. So all 13
You just
colonies
proved
ratified
yourself
them by
wrong.
1781. I
You
just said
just
that.
proved
All
yourself
Hey,
wrong.
13
Dulcie, may I
colonies
read
You
something
said
real
it was
ratified
quick?
it by
last ratified in
1781.
1787. That was
You
after
just
the
don't
No,
first state
understand
that
what
no, I said
I
ratified
found
means.
exactly what
81,
I was looking for.
1781. All
Ask
states,
Loyal if
all
he's familiar
states,
with the Supremacy
all the
Clause.
13 states
He doesn't know what the
ratified
supremacy
them
clause
on
is because
March
he's never read the
1st,
Constitution.
1781. March
You
1st,
hear me, brother? He's never read the Constitution.
1781. Not
He's a
seven,
I
Google.
looked up the
81.
Supremacy
and I do want to
Clause.
He's a
say
Google
that
master teacher.
the Constitution was written in Philadelphia, correct? Now you got to see who was running Philadelphia when they say they wrote this and had a meeting to write the
See,
Constitution. The first one.
you trying to go? You trying to go back in history? We talking about who is running shit? Is it the
But
federal
that's
government?
the
Is it
start
one
of
of the
it.
several
Who actually
states?
wrote the
It's
Constitution? It
not
was
one of the
written in
several states.
Philadelphia.
It can't be.
So
Now
may
there
I
was
read
States are
one thing real
federal.
quick
They're
about what we were
enclaves
saying?
of the federal government. They're property of the federal government. The states are. This is how
Yes.
Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 tells you that each state is an enclave of the federal government. Come on, man. We got to do better, people. We got to.
Yes, and I asked AI, does the federal government have the power to shut down a weed dispensary in a state where it's legal? And the answer was yes, the federal government has the authority to shut down a weed dispensary in a state where it is legal due to the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution.
And what did I read the supremacy clause was? Is that the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Under this was in 1787.
And I do want y'all to know there was a lot of indentured
That's the
servants
first
going.
state it was under. That was recognized as statehood.
Liar. Liar.
No, no, it's not a lie.
Liar.
Because they were colonies before they were state. Absolutely.
Liar. Liar.
They were colonies
Liar.
before
Your
they were
own
states.
words slapped the piss out you just now.
No,
Liar.
it didn't.
Info,
It's saying the
T-Fine.
same
Good
thing
info.
we're all
Absolutely. Good
saying.
info,
It's
Dulcie.
saying the
was in
same
that
thing
place.
we're all
That was
saying.
so weak.
The Articles
That
of
was weak.
Confederation
Now
is
it's
the
saying the
first
same thing we
U.S.
all said.
Constitution. The
You know when you
Articles of
heard your own voice, you were
Confederation
struck.
were in state. No, the
So
Articles
lying
of Confederation were ratified by all 13 colonies before Delaware even became recognized as the first state. That's what I
Now,
said.
Now, Dulcie, may I say one more thing going with the weed? Now, check this
liar.
out. There's something called the Controlled Substance Act, the CSA. Marijuana is a
Yep.
Schedule 1 drug under the CSA at the federal level. This means the drug has no accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. Federal crimes include the cultivation, possession, and distribution of cannabis. Now, listen to this. This is the next point. No state legalization. States cannot truly legalize marijuana because of the CSA. States have created regulatory systems for businesses and individuals to operate within state lines without facing state level criminal charges. However, the activity remains prohibited under federal law.
Exactly.
And it affects you how? You don't have a federal job, so what the fuck is
You
you?
don't have to have that just means if I have a dispensary here in California and it's legal, the feds can come and bust my dispensary whenever
Yeah,
they
you
want,
don't have to have
regardless
a
of all the
federal.
taxes I've been paying.
Why
I
they
can
ain't
be
did
You
doing
it
don't have
yet?
to
everything
have
by
a
the book.
federal
Why
job
they
for
ain't did
this
it
to
yet
be.
then?
Man, I've been living out
Because
here
they're
over 15
choosing
years.
not
Why they
to.
ain't did it yet
They've
then?
closed and opened so many dispensaries that used to be like whack-a-mole. You close one down, another one pop right
That's
back
not
up.
because of the federal government. That's because
The
of
federal
funding.
government was the one shutting them down. Just it
No, they
was. What are you
weren't,
talking about?
man. What is you gonna sit up here and lie for?
It wasn't the state government. They were
Why is you
collecting
gonna sit
taxes
up
from these
here
businesses.
and tell a bold-faced lie
Same.
like that, boy?
I don't think he even understands
Mama
his
I
told
still
argument
me
at
live
if
in
you
this point.
steal,
California.
if you
Due to
lie,
a
He's
you'll
just
like bad
saying
steal. If you
anything.
steal,
please
you'll
as a
kill. You are
disclaimer.
a disreputable nigga,
Please,
just
as a
like
disclaimer, I don't know about
Dulcie
anyone
ass.
else that come on Smoke Signal,
He
but
don't even
please,
understand what
for
he's
your own
arguing right
sake,
You a
now. So
liar,
do
there's
Dulcie.
no
not
Don't even
point.
talk to
ever,
me.
do not
There's no
ever
point
take
in even
You a
arguing
anything that
with him.
liar.
Loyal say
He
as any
doesn't
truth.
know
To
that
the
the
He's
three
a
core.
branches are
goofball.
under the
I don't
government.
know who
He
you
does
learned how
not
to
know
lie
that
like
the
that from,
Articles of
Y'all still
but
out
you a
Confederation
there
were
with
liar,
that
Dulcie.
shit?
ratified
You is
were
a straight
ratified before
liar.
Y'all still
states had a
arguing with that nigga?
constitution. The first
Y'all
state to
still
have a
arguing with that nigga?
constitution under the statehood would be
Can
Delaware in
y'all talk at one
1784.
at a time? Because we can't hear all of y'all talking at the same time.
For real.
The first state to have a constitution would be in 1787, like Chief I Am said. So it means that before any
You said
state even
81 though,
had,
remember? Remember you
even
said 81?
no, I didn't say 81. No, listen,
Okay, here
listen
we go
closely.
again. Here we go
Listen
again.
closely, listen closely.
Loyal,
The
why are
first
you
state
interrupting her? You can speak when she
I'm not. I'm done.
finished.
I'm done. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The first state to have a state constitution would be Delaware when it became a statehood, and that would be in 1787. Before that, the Articles of Confederation, which is going to be the precursor of the United States Constitution. The Articles of Confederation was written between 1776 through 1777, and it was ratified in November. It was adopted in November of 1777. It was ratified by all 13 colonies in 1781. That's the 1781 date, meaning that the Articles of Confederation, which is the Union's constitution, existed before there even was a state constitution. So the state
There was
constitutions
no
were then
state
written
constitution.
in concurrence with the United States Constitution.
1781. I just said all
There's no state.
Can y'all let her finish? Let her finish. Thank you. Go ahead, Dulcie. I'm listening.
Yeah, so when Loyal is going in and is saying, as far as that the state constitution is the supreme and can go against the U.S. Constitution, no, this all states' constitutions were written in concurrence of the United States Constitution. They'll never go against it.
That's
Okay,
three
are you
times,
done?
It's
Dosey.
like
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, lawyer. Go ahead and say why you disagree with her.
I disagree with her because she lied twice. Okay. And then on top of that, the states have to create the environment for the government. That's how it works. The states have to have their own constitution. Why even have a state constitution if they all have to what? Abide by the federal constitution. It's like saying that just because the federal government has a constitution, they're the ones that created it first. That's a fucking lie. The states created the constitution because the states were part of the previous government that was around when the United States started. That's all I'm saying.
Prove that the states created the Constitution. That's all you have to do. Otherwise, you're talking in a circle.
You're right. That's what I said. But you didn't get that part. My bad. Go ahead.
No, what document can we pull up? Like Dosey just pulled up a document. That way, you don't have to like beat around the bush with it. What document can we
I'm on
pull
my
up really quick?
phone. I'm on my
No,
phone. But if the
what
states
can we
listen,
pull up?
if the states existed before 1776, right? That would mean
But
that
they
they
didn't.
they
come
didn't,
on, bro.
bro. They
Look,
did
the
not exist before
Constitution for seven. Look, listen.
1776.
They were
Go
colonies
ahead. Go ahead.
first.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
They
ahead.
were colonies.
There was
All right,
only
colonies,
13
states,
colonies.
whatever you want to call them. But listen,
No,
they
they're
existed
colony and
No,
the
before
it's
state are
not
different.
whatever you want to
They're
1776.
not the
call
same
them.
thing. A colony and the state are different. You can't make them
Exactly. You
the
can't
same.
Come
just say
on,
whatever you
man.
want
Y'all,
to
look,
call them.
look, look, look. Apples and oranges. Okay, I got you.
No,
Okay,
we're
No,
talking
go
man.
about
ahead.
legal technicalities that have
Whatever.
uh,
Words have meaning,
exacerbated
especially when they're
the fact.
inherently in the Constitution. We have to go by
Yeah,
the
you
words that
got
are in the
law specific,
Constitution
brother.
and in
You
Hey,
can't
law.
say what's
T5M, didn't you bring up the fact that the first state was started before the ratification of the Constitution?
no, I did not. You just misheard her. She didn't say
Okay.
that either
I didn't
time.
say her, I said you, brother, because you the one brought up the
I
fact
said
that there was a state
1787,
that was around.
Delaware achieved statehood. In 1787, Delaware achieved statehood. That was the
Okay.
first state that achieved statehood.
All right. And what was the date that Dosey said that the Constitution was ratified in?
1781.
No. We just now went over this. See,
You
now
just
you
Yes,
lying.
that is.
Now
That's the
you
date I've
lying.
said every time.
Now you
1781.
lying. You said 1787.
no, I
No, I
said
didn't.
1787.
Oh my goodness. You didn't say that the ratification took place.
No,
It was final ratification that was
You just
that took
read
place in
what you read
1781.
I
the
read
first
it.
That's
time
what
I
you
read
said,
it three
1781?
times. It's
That's what you
March
said.
1st, 1781. That's what I
Okay.
said three times.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do the same thing I just did to prove you was lying again, and that's gonna be 3 times you lied. Go
You're just
ahead.
making it up. You haven't found one time I lied. You're just slow.
While he's trying to find that, can I just read something to you guys? Just really quick. It's talking about how the Iroquois really set up the United States. Uh, Let me just go. It just says in 1744, envoys from Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia met in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, with delegates or sachems or sagamores of the Six Nations of the Iroquois Indians, of course. During this discussion, the Iroquois leader, Casatanego or Tago, advocated for the federal union of the American colonies, exhorting the colonists. So basically, it was the Iroquois that they're saying actually set up this American colony.
Yeah, I doubt that. I highly doubt
Yeah,
that,
I know
considering
they
who the
had the Great Law of Peace, but um,
no,
so
considering
when you say
who the colonists
they
were.
did the colonies, right? Because I mean, I've had Georgia colony, and we went over kind of the trustees or different things like that as far as the colonies, and they have a charter for it. Is there anything that shows any kind of conglomerate of those charters with the Iroquois Confederation?
Well, it wasn't the Iroquois, so to speak, that started everything, but these are 6 different nations, and they teamed up with other nations that had the indentured servants throughout the South and the East Coast. So what they were doing is say, "Hey, let's go big, and that's to all join hands and take this a little further, see if we can get more land to get more plantations or companies on it. So these were these Sagamores, these Delaware Moors, these Algonquin people running the show at this time. That's why they're saying that they used the Iroquois backdrop to form the Constitution.
So where do they leave proof of this? Like this government that replicated the current government.
Well, what I'm reading from is just the Penn Gazette. So it's thepenngazette.com. And it just talks about the Iroquois and the, so to speak, leaders of the United States at that time. How they were, how the Indian tribes were meeting with each other, and then some of the leaders of the Indian tribes started meeting with the, so to speak, leaders that they got over the United States or the colonies at that time. So all the colonists were doing were the leaders of the colonies or the ones over it, the landlords, they were just going to get indentured servants to work the plantation to take more stuff overseas to get more money. So that's all that was going on. So a colonist is just a farmer.
Hey, so the Continental Congress was that the did they write the first Constitution?
The
No,
Articles of Confederation, yeah, are going to be associated with the Second Continental Congress,
which was before what? The Constitution in 1776, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that means that the states created the Constitution before they
The
did.
state Continental Congress is not the states.
That
Right.
means that before
Yeah, you can't
the United
use
States was
Continental
created,
Congress is not the
before the
states.
United
Did you
States
hear
was
that part?
created, the
Wait, Loyal,
Constitution
did
was
you hear
created.
that part?
You
Did you hear
can't
that
use
The
part?
key
the word
thing
The
before
Did you
the
hear
United
this
Continental
States was
part?
Congress
created,
is
existed
not the
yet.
states.
the
Did you
United
You
hear
should
States
this
know
wasn't in
part?
that.
existence
That the
yet.
Continental Congress
Before
is not
States
the
aren't in
states.
United States was
existence yet.
created, the Constitution was already in existence.
But the
But
states
that
weren't
the
existing
Continental
yet.
Congress is not the
Yes,
states.
yes.
The
They're
And
not.
states
it,
No,
did
they're
and it
not
was
not.
exist yet.
ratified in 1787.
You don't understand what state. Do you understand what statehood is?
I don't give a fuck what statehood is. I'm
Oh
telling you
man,
that the
who are
Constitution was
we
around
talking to?
before the
This
United
guy's a
States.
knuckle dragger, I think.
It doesn't matter what you think, brother, because you're a fool
A
anyway.
form of a constitution, but it wasn't the United States Constitution.
A
Because you
form
just
of
said
it.
the United
Okay,
States
so
Constitution, the
we
United
just gonna
States didn't
overlook
exist
that.
yet.
We just gonna
Right?
overlook that. Go ahead.
But it was the United States government that did form the Continental Congress. So thank you for going back to my original point that the
No, it's
United States.
not.
Yes, it is. The Continental Congress were
Hey,
delegates
look, all
of
you
the United
aboriginals
States
sitting up
13
here
colonies.
agreeing with her that y'all didn't have shit, and the Continental Congress wasn't even y'all's. That the foreigners created that, gave that to you too.
I didn't say anything about, oh, they didn't have shit. That's what you added.
Well, you
But
just
what
now
you're
said
trying to
the
do
United
is you're
States.
trying to make the
You
United
said the
States
United
government.
States created it.
Hold on.
No,
I've
you
been
hold
finished.
on,
No,
because you
no, no,
cut me
no.
off.
You no, you were done talking while you
How
were
was I
lying
done
and
talking
saying,
when
"Oh, you just
I
said,
was
oh,
talking at the same
y'all are
time then?
agreeing with her when she says that they didn't
Why
have shit." That's what you
why
said.
y'all being rude? Like y'all can't have a conversation with all the extra loyal. Why you so emotional?
I'm not emotional, man. If she gonna say I'm cutting her off, but she doing it to me, what am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to say, all right, I cut you off. No. If that's what happened, that's what happened.
You made a statement. You said y'all are listening to her while she's saying y'all didn't have shit, and this is just all by the United States. Then you stopped, and
When
I'm
I
replying
said
to
that the
that.
Continental
I
Congress,
never said that there was nothing, no government established here. The whole point was that the United States government is not established by Americans. That's my premise. You disagree with that. That's fine. But you bring
okay,
up the Continental Congress, which was created by the delegates of the 13 British colonies of North America. That's where the
The
Continental
Scots,
Congress comes from.
that's for sure.
Yeah, that's why I differ with you
Scots
at
and the
Dulcie.
Maori.
I'm
That's
gonna
the
have to
thing.
say the Algonquin and the Iroquois actually created the United States of America, and they were the businessmen running that company until
And why
things
was it
changed
changed
in the
to
early 1900s.
be called the Iroquois land? No.
What was that?
If that were the case, this place would be called Iroquois land or Algonquin land.
Well, Iroquois just means snake people. It doesn't. That's a
See?
nickname. If you look up what Iroquois mean, it means snake people. Literally, it means snake people.
Well, why
That
I
was
asked you about the charters before, absolutely, is because when we see these colonies, we know these colonies were established by charters. So I would think to make a statement like the one you made, as far as that the Iroquois is the one that established it, we would need to see where these charters are connected to the Iroquois in any shape, form, or fashion.
by the kings
Who do
of
you file
Aren't
a
Scotland.
charter with?
Cherokee
Who
Iroquois?
you gonna file a
The
charter
Aren't the
with?
kings of
Cherokee Iroquois?
Scotland.
Ain't they the ones who went to? Ain't they the ones who went to Europe in 1700s? The Cherokee. Aren't they
And see, the
Iroquois?
thing is that you file a
There was
charter
a
with
few different ones that went over to Europe.
It were the Scots, the Scottish men, the
Nah,
bringers
I'm
of the
talking about
law.
American Indians. Nah, you talking about American Indians going over there,
We're talking about the colonies, brother.
specifically the
Yeah,
1700s. Nah, I know.
we
I'm just
talk,
saying.
What they gonna? What the
Chief I
hell?
am.
What the
Chief
hell?
I am.
What
What's
the
your
hell?
issue with the Iroquois and the Algonquin?
I don't got no
You
issue with
seem
them.
like you don't.
I don't have
You
no
don't
You
know
issue
the
with
seem
them.
like you
history.
got an issue every time Absolute say Algonquin or Iroquois. You're trying to debunk it.
No, I'm not debunking that. What I'm saying is that he's saying that it sounded like he was saying that the Constitution or the Articles of Confederation were not created by the Scots, but by the Iroquois and the Algonquin. And I don't believe that to be true.
So we didn't have no
Hey
form
man,
of
And what
government or
evidence?
organization over
What
here.
hey,
evidence do you have that it was created by the Scots? You said.
Yeah, the
What's your
Scotland, the
evidence?
kings of Scotland, because that's
Scotland now.
historically it can't
Scotland is
happen.
that's just
They
viral
came over here.
nowadays.
The Scottish were the first to come over here.
The
They set
first
up the
African
colonies.
Well, I don't know that to be true. I know the Spanish to be the first
No, the
ones to come
13
here. They
colonies
didn't
were set
start.
up by the,
Yeah, they didn't start the colonies. You're correct on that. As far I was just saying, as
the
far as the
kings of
first to
Scotland.
come.
He don't understand. All this shit's
That's
being
pretty
told to him
out of
backwards.
theory.
You said
It's
what?
being told to you
hey
back.
man.
It's being
Somebody
told to you
said the
backwards.
Iroquois and the Cherokees went to Europe. What the hell they go to Europe for?
I mean,
No,
that's
Oh,
just
so
Scotland is
didn't nobody say that. So didn't nobody say that.
Yeah, someone said that.
Okay, what the hell they go to Europe for?
they had to go get
To
the people to
build
write
it
the
back up.
Constitution.
To build it back up. It was a hot ass mess over there.
And the
I
so-called
mean, so
potato
what
famine
do the
also.
Cherokees and the Iroquois have got anything to do with building it, with building Europe back up? Y'all saying they built it
Well,
in the
well,
first place?
well,
Like this
they
fucked
they
up
had a meeting.
connection between the Americans and the Europeans
They were having
keep getting convoluted.
they were having a meeting which showed their allegiance to King George.
I'll
So
tell
this is
you
what I'm
which
Why
saying.
would they
This
be
is
chiefs
what
went over there.
aligned to King George?
this is what I'm saying. The
Who?
Cherokee are not what people. The whole American Indians are not what people were thinking they are. This is the whole reason why we understand of them being so-called Moors. These are the people that was going there meeting and doing. This is the whole reason why you have statues of the American Indians all around Europe. It was the American Indians. It's the same people. The Moors and American Indians, exact same people. That's basically all it is. That's what it is. These are the niggas that was going over there doing all the meetings. It was the Cherokee and, like he said, different tribes, Algonquin, tons of different tribes. And you got to know this history. Not you, Smoke, but anybody who just laughed. You got to know this history.
So the American Indian was
So
running
why
shit
are
in
they
Europe?
called why are they called Delaware Moors instead of Delaware Indians?
Well,
That's what
the
I'm saying.
Delaware
That's
Moors
the
are called
term. I
that.
don't know why they took on that term. That's just like Verdiasi. Verdiasi likes that term, but she knows for sure we
Um,
are 100% American Indians.
a more
So
a
it's just a
more is
term.
just a global identity. That's
It's a
all it is.
No,
term. Yeah,
no,
it's
it's
really a
not.
term.
No, Moor
It's
meant
a global
Sagamore.
No, it
Well,
was a
it
Moore
group
does
just
mean,
of
meant
and he's
black
right.
people,
Sagamore.
No,
white
and
group
he's right. It
called to say
also
black
it has
people
multiple meanings, and it
all
does
around the
mean
world.
Sagamore. I mean, it has multiple meanings. It has
No,
multiple
no,
meanings,
but it
but it
first
all
meant a
equates to a nigga.
Sagamore, a
But
chief.
but but absolutely, let's just say that it
What
all
meaning pertains
equates
to this
to a
conversation?
nigga. It's tons of different terms you can say. Oh, this it relates to this. It relates, but it all relates to niggas. You got the Sagamore. You have the Moor who sails the sea. Then you have the Moor, who is the swarthy, dark-skinned, so-called black person. It's
Right,
all
exactly.
niggas. It's all niggas. Oh, and then you have Moor, which is land. You have Moor, literally, which means land as well. So the land, the sea, people,
No, no,
yeah.
more is a specified group of people. So when you
And then,
say
like
that
you
it can
said,
mean
chief.
people overseas with more, also, that's where we're going to get confused at.
Oh, but then, like
Sagamore
you
is just
said, it
the
is the
Indian chief
Not
Sagamore is the
here in America.
Algonquins.
not anything to
It's the
confuse.
Algonquins. And then, like you said, then it's the Algonquins, who was, like we just said, going over there, doing all the meetings. They're the ones who were setting
It was
seed.
a world. It's a world. It's always a world
Like,
rulership,
Meeting with
man.
motherfuckers don't know
who?
this.
Who they meeting with, bro? Who they meeting with?
Meet with
The,
other niggas that was already over there, that settled over
George
there, of
Washington.
their own people.
they
These is
was
all
over
their
there
own
meeting
people.
with the
This
rulers
is the
of
Niggas ain't know how
of
to
y'all
the
write.
saying
See
British
this.
Dawson?
Isles of Europe,
See Dawson? You hear him? You hear him,
and
Dawson?
who was
That's my
over there
What
ruling
hypothesis.
in
happened?
Europe? Who was
Who are
ruling
these
in
rulers
Europe?
of Europe, bro? Who are the rulers of Europe, bro?
The Stuarts.
But where did they come from
Stewards under
You
the
originally?
hear him,
rule.
Dose?
Where did they come from
Yeah.
originally, bro? Why did they have an allegiance, and why were they aligned with King George? And why are they aligned with all of this? Like, this don't make sense, bro. It's deeper than what you think, Chief I am. Do you really know this
Nah,
history?
man, it ain't. It's. I'm talking about what you can prove, man.
Mm, damn.
No, it's
I'm not
definitely
talking
misnomer,
about you
P.I.
guys.
It's
You're
not a
talking
term.
ancient.
It's
You're talking
niggas
ancient
is using that
history,
term like
and
niggas like black right now. Niggas be calling themselves black and African American right now. Same thing. What would you say, Chief I am?
nah, man.
So the story
Yeah, he
goes,
talking
Sound
about
like
stuff to
hogwash.
prove.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about them colonies. You guys are jumping from conversation to
This is
conversation.
hold
exactly
up.
this is
So the
stuff that
story,
stuff
can
that
I
can
just tell you
easily
what I'm
prove.
talking about when I say that they
You
say
always
that
repeating
the
all this.
Real quick before you do that. Real quick before you do that, because I want to know that it's still the same. It's still the same conversation, even though these new alternate this is being introduced. We trying to figure out how foreigners got control of a government that niggas is claiming was already up and running. And I'm saying the foreigners is just niggas who was always niggas that was going back and forth.
There you go. You're right.
I mean, they are
And
foreign.
then, but
Like
how
I
did
said,
things
it's the
get
world
convoluted? How did
rulership,
the hold
dog.
on? How did things get out convoluted though? I've been trying to explain to people, and a lot of niggas don't want to believe it. Is the admixture? You allowing these motherfuckers into your family, and then they do the whole takeover. They literally could take over your whole last name, lineage, and estate, literally by marrying in. They was literally
Yeah,
doing
but
that
the
shit
states
all the
and all that
time.
shit come
But
from
they
Europe.
are. What do you mean? Who are you allowing in? If you
That shit
believe
come
that they
from the
are
Scott.
already just
Talking about
people
taking
that are
over the
traveling
state.
back and forth, there's no letting them
No,
back
you
in.
let the
They are.
pale, you let a bunch of pale skins into your family. And that's how shit gets taken over. Then the descendants, they start doing fucked up shit. That's what happened. Literally what happened.
now Dosey, if you have time, just look up Sagamore on your own time. Sagamore, Sagamore. And those are the Moors I'm referring to that were going back and forth to Europe. They even have a story of the four Iroquois kings going over to London in 1710 also.
Exactly, Lil Yos said y'all act like y'all had these Negroes in your family. That's all these Scots and all these different people that you see in these videos now. Why you think they look just like us? They
Nigga,
just
that
talk
is
with the
us.
accents. Yeah, they just talk with an
Yeah,
accent.
that's it.
But the motherfuckers is us. They don't look
A lot of
nothing like
us
Africa.
came. A lot of our people came from over there.
I
A
ain't
lot of
No,
seen
that's
none that look like
you said a
me
lot
yet.
of our people came
what you
from
look
over there.
like now.
No, they came from over here, bro. There's literally some of them on there saying America is the original homeland. Who was it? The Irish British nigga said America is the original homeland. And he said we ended up here. We settled here. He literally said that out of his mouth.
Yeah, and 2 years ago he had a different accent. So yeah,
Yeah,
he's
because
been
he lives in
exposed
different places,
already.
don't he? He say he live in
Yeah,
different
but you don't
places.
change how you talk just because you live different places. I'm still gonna talk like this whether I live here or Iraq. I'm still gonna
No,
have
but I'm
this
saying if
because
you
this
go
is the way
back
that
and
I
forth,
speak.
no, but he's a person that goes back and forth. Like he lived in like two places going back and forth. So when you're settled in this place, you might start to, talk more like those people. I know that for a fact because I live in Amarillo, Texas, and
Over a life.
Sacramento, California. No, I'm saying going back. Yeah, if you go back and forth over your whole life, if you're going back and forth every single year, then
Yeah,
yes,
but
you
that
might
type
talk
of thing don't
different.
have enough time to set in. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So then you kind of get confused with the way you talk. Motherfuckers be like, "Why are you talking like that?" You be like, "Oh shit, you got to
I
change it up."
know if you move somebody from New Orleans who talk the way that they talk and you move them to Texas or New York or California, no matter where they move to, they still gonna have that New Orleans accent. So this
Uh-huh.
But if
dude
they
2 years ago, he didn't have the accent that he have today. He wasn't on saying the same, making the same talking points. And then he talks crazy about Moors when he clearly has Moors in his bloodline. He clearly is claiming to be a descendant of King James, King Charles, and all these other different people. But 2 years ago, he his talking points wasn't the same as today, and he
yeah, but
don't come off as sincere. Sincere. He may be telling some truths, but it seems like he has an agenda.
yeah, he might have a gender. You right? Yeah, 'cause yeah, that's true. Just because a motherfucker talking don't mean believe it. That is a fact.
And I gotta say, during those time, a
And
lot
if
of
that
those
nigga was
kings
talking
were
different,
also named over here in America at the same time. So also you gotta like kind of check out
good
who
observation.
were writing the charters. Were those people writing the charters here in America as the kings here, just like the King Philip's War?
Hmm. Exactly. King
What they
Philip's
following them
War.
with?
King
You know
Philip.
what I'm saying?
King Philip.
If you
Who
just
the
writing
fuck
up
was King
charters, ain't
Philip?
nobody to accept it.
Because they tell us that nigga name was
Uh,
Metacom. Who the fuck is Metacom? What? Like, no offense, but damn, bro, you ever heard of a name Metacom? No. Now you heard of a Philip. You got Phillips in your family, bro. James, George, but not no
that's right.
Metacom.
Y'all a bunch
The
of
fuck is that?
niggas from the aisles.
Nigga, get
Look,
that shit out
man,
of here, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I got a
Anybody
cold
offended?
book y'all should read.
They
Y'all got
giving
some
y'all
time.
fairy tales, bro.
Tell you
But
all
your
about
family
this.
is your family. Ezekiel and Ulysses and shit. Yeah, that's the names we find. I know
The
motherfucking
author's
Metacom.
Forbes J. Macbeth. It's called Jacobite Gleanings from the manuscript short sketches of the Jacobites, the
Nah, I
transportations,
know, Lil Yo. So I'm just fucking with you.
1745.
It's that's
Y'all should
exactly what
check
it
that
is.
out.
It gotta be just a title. It can't be a name. Like what actual name is that? And they try to tell us that's his real name. It's like, no, nigga, that ain't his real name. His real name is a regular name that we've all heard. Then they try to tell us we didn't have names and surnames. That's another lie.
So is
Don't
them
believe that
foreigners
shit.
running our shit or what?
What'd you say now?
Is them foreigners running our shit or what?
You talking
I'd
I
say
about
think right
no.
now they are. I think right now it's a mixed breed at the
I'd say
top of the
no.
food chain. It's a mixed
I'd say
breed at
no.
the top of the food chain.
No, no, absolutely. They have them playing the role of being the leader. Like I've been trying to explain to people. Go look at them sultans in East Africa. Go look at the sultans of East Africa in the 1900s. Now, those people don't look nothing. I mean, 0% like an African. Them motherfuckers is people that have been settling in places and they come from here.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is right now, at this point in time, like it's as
Their
far as
names
who's
show it
running the
all.
United States, I think it's like a mixed population of different races. I don't think it's just us anymore running the United States.
But
Bro, I bet you can't even
I'm
name
saying
one person in your
it's a
throughout your
race.
entire lineage that's ever ran for office.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
Well, I got
I don't know
somebody in the office right now, my family. So, but they just ain't in a high office. They're on a local level.
it's
You
gonna be
fortunate.
certain families.
You like a unicorn or some shit.
Loyal, I think that's only. I think you got to be a part of the elite family. Like when they say that bloodline shit, I think that shit real. That's why a lot of people don't have that shit in their family.
Well, it's not really that hard to say you got somebody in your family because you do got one or two people that want to go for the gold in your family as far as like helping everybody. So that's how it starts out, doing nonprofit organizations. So it's not anything major when that's what that person was into
Now that's
because
a
that's what
fact.
the
Lil
government
Yo's,
is.
he said local family runs for office all the time. Now that's a fact. Yeah, in little unincorporated towns and like shit like that. Yeah, of course. You of course got uncles and aunts and cousins. Yeah, but at the federal, I don't think you're doing that. I think nobody. Nah.
Again, I still think that the federal level was only created when they created the Federal Reserve. I don't think because feds, when you're talking federal government, you're just talking
You're
about
right.
how
We
they
didn't
deal
need it.
with your money.
That's some real shit. That's crazy. You said that absolutely because we didn't need it.
Right,
You
because
don't
there was
really
no
need
tax
to.
being taken. There was none of that
Yeah,
being taken. You
You
lived
got
how you
you got
live. And
talking
you
about in the early 1900s though, man.
yeah, but that's when things changed. It didn't change
that's when
before
things
then
really
because
changed. Exactly. Say it again. Absolutely. Say it
right,
again.
we were still running government. Our government back then, it was two different governments after 1860. It
And
was
that's a
two different
fact too.
governments.
Somebody was over these people, and then we was in our own jurisdiction. And this is the reason why
Right,
they was burning our shit, flooding our shit, trying to get rid of our shit. It's a whole reason why they were trying to do that. Wasn't
right,
the same
right.
system. Wasn't the same system. Why you think we had all the Black Wall Streets? These motherfuckers deprived. It's not the
Yeah, they
same.
gave them that name, Black Wall Street, for a reason. They weren't involved.
Oh, absolutely. The biggest way you know is segregation. The segregation that we actually implemented. What motherfuckers
Exactly.
don't know that we implemented. We didn't want to be around them. Then
Yeah,
we
but that
start getting
those
tricked into
segregation.
start thinking we're equal. Hold on, we start getting tricked into thinking we was equal. Then we was like, oh, okay, yeah, we can integrate. Start integrating, got fucked over. That's literally what happened.
And they needed us to integrate because again, they were over here as
Yes,
indentured servants
they
at first. So
fucked
they
up.
were in their own
Shanty
communities
towns,
anyway.
shanty
Right.
towns.
Trailer
What happened to them
parks.
shanty towns? We never had shanty
If
towns.
that
Yeah,
was the
we never
case,
needed trailer
why did
parks. Oh yeah, say it again. They created trailer parks for them, specifically for them, trailer parks, because they had the shanty towns. They had to literally put them in somewhere. Like they had to find somewhere to put them. The very first trailer parks, I think, was like 1934. And shanty towns like 1930, 1932, around the Great Depression era. Bruh, they was setting all this shit up. Go ahead, Loyal.
well, I was gonna say, man, we the ones fought for the desegregation laws. You know what I mean? The desegregation laws. There weren't even any segregation laws on the books, but we created a desegregation law.
Oh, you mean the civil right? You mean them civil right con artists? They fought for that shit. That's what I'm saying. We got tricked, we got bamboozled, just like today, just like in 1988 with the African American shit, just like Stokely Carmichael with black. We've been getting bamboozled by these civil rights.
Now that right
That's the
there,
reason.
what
Like
that was
that's what.
fighting, that these are the people now that are in government, that's been in government for years. You know, Martin Luther King, uh, he was fighting for that too, for that desegregation, that we want to be able to use the same shit as them,
He
you know.
like pale skin women. They say he loves
But
pale skin women. I believe it.
look how many Martin Luther King era senators and motherfuckers on the caucuses and shit that are still in there right now and were his supporters, staunch supporters of him. So those are the foreigners that we was talking about earlier when we
Oh,
said took over the government.
and then people all up Martin Luther King's ass thinking he was their friend, not knowing that this nigga was working with all of the motherfuckers. All of the
And he was
motherfuckers.
traveling to England on a regular.
Yeah, like Ford. All the Ford, every single time Ford had like a little Ford expedition. Not expedition, but like the different what's that called, the expos where they literally showing the cars off. He's always there. What is
That
it
would
called, the urban Negro League? That shit's heavily funded. I mean, heavily funded by a hell of different white corporations. They created that shit.
And again, this all started in the 1900s when the United States really took form under Woodrow Wilson. That's when tax started and federal tax started. And what they were doing with the federal income, it was supposed to only last 20 years, mind you. But after that, they created the Great Depression that extended the Federal Reserve Act to indefinitely. So the only way it could be shot down is by us. But they did some manipulation, of course, to make it indefinite. That's why, again, the Great Depression happened. If you look up the Federal Reserve, it was only supposed to be for 20 years. So 1913 it started, 1933 it was supposed to end. Get it? 1933.
Yep. Lil Yost, remember that? Like a few years ago, I posted all the different so-called black banks, all of them on Instagram.
We had our
like,
own system, had our
two,
own
three,
money. We
bro,
wasn't
we
using
had
gold and all that.
200. No, but we had 300 so-called black banks. Like tons of them. Tons of them all over Oklahoma, Alabama, Mississippi, just all over.
Yeah, because there were multiple Black Wall Streets. It wasn't just one.
Yes, exactly. Everywhere you had a Black Wall Street, you're going to have a bank. Everywhere you had a Black Wall
banks,
Street,
not
you have a
just
whole
one bank.
political system. Yeah, you have a whole political system everywhere you got a Black Wall Street. That's why I'm like,
And
bro,
again, if you look it up, it was two separate constitutions created in 1860. That's when people started trying to create their United States, and the South was trying to create its own United States. But at the end, they under Woodrow Wilson is when they took off and said they own all the states now. But it was two separate states. I mean, separate constitution up until Woodrow Wilson, which is 1911. 1912, whenever he got into office and ran for like 18 years.
So the two constitutions, which one are we using right now?
We're under the United States of America, the con
exactly,
artist constitution.
And what's the other one called?
Took all that shit, put that into a bunch of those.
Now, that was supposed to be the one that the South actually wrote for themselves during 1860 through 1865 when they was supposedly split, but they were never together. So it wasn't no 13 colonies. It was the South against the North, so to speak. It was never a 13 colonies like they give us in the story. So that's why our mind frame has to get away from like it was just 13 colonies on the coast. Had nothing to do with 13 colonies. That's the story they're throwing in our face to get us off the real trail.
So what did it have something to do with then? Why would the 13 colonies be significant over the states that were already here or the colonies that were already here, depending on what you want to call them?
So how the states came in under the United States, I'm actually going to have to say that they're putting history at 100 years back during the 1700s. So everything they're saying that happened in the 1700s with the United States Constitution actually happened during Reconstruction. So when they say 1781, they're talking about 1881. When they say like the new Constitution came about 1865 is really when it came about. The Constitution really came about 1865. And then with eugenics is when they really started running their play. Again, these indentured servants were just freed after 1865 as a whole. Now you got to also know that there were some free ones before that due to what do you call it? Concubinism.
When they getting freed from?
Yeah, them
From indentured servitude.
So I'm confused.
So you know that there was indentured servitude going on in America up until the 1900s or 1911 to be exact with the Mann Act.
You mean like working for people?
No, like they give you room and board and food and clothes and you don't get paid.
So you like Job Corps?
Do Job
under the
Corps pay you?
contract of the other
Nah,
government though,
Job Corps don't pay you. You learn your trade and
under
you stay there.
Britain.
And shit like
So
that.
they give you, and you learn to trade, but then you go back out into the free world, and you were never indentured when you went into Job Corps. That was willingly, and you're still in the free world, is what I'm saying. So that's not a good example to go along with what an indentured servant was.
Yeah, it ain't the same.
So the indentured servers were locked up like in jail?
Well, they couldn't
No.
leave. They would had to fulfill a contract. You can't leave. You're not free. You're indentured as a servant to someone under
So they
contract.
had to so they literally had to sign a contract for a number of years.
Well, most of them couldn't even sign it, so they just tricked them into the contract. A lot of them didn't even make it past 3 to 4 years here. So to be able to ever get free, a lot of them had lifelong sentences as indentured servants. I know up in Rhode Island, it was up to 100 years at first that you had to be an indentured servant. That which means that was for life. Then they downed it down to 10 years uh, in the late 1700s. That's just
Is
Rhode
there
Island.
is there documentation showing these contracts of indentured servitude?
Yeah, you can just go online right now, go to Wicked, and just type in indentured servitude. That's the quickest way I can tell you because it'll lead you everywhere you need to go from there. If you've never read up on it, just go to Wiki, type in indentured servitude. It'll pop up as a Wiki definition.
I know I'm not doubting that's what it is. I'm not doubting you can't find it. I've heard about that before. But what I'm saying is, and that would definitely mean that these people had an option. So
No, they ain't have an
No, they ain't had
option,
no
bro.
option. Oh no, they
so
ain't had no
then it
option.
wouldn't been then it
A lot of them
didn't
was
it
coming
wouldn't
as
have required a
prisoners and shit.
contract. If it wasn't an option, it wouldn't have required a contract.
Even when you go to jail, you sign a contract, right? Even if
Nah,
you don't want to go.
nah, you ain't signing no contract.
Yes, you are,
What
bro.
contract you
They
sign?
make you sign
You
paper to go to
apprehended.
jail.
You
No,
arrested.
absolutely. You not
You don't
explaining that
volunteer. A
that
contract is
contract is
between a
in
contractor
place
and
with
a
the
contractee.
government on the other side in the east.
But
Government
we're
What
is
talking
government?
about
paying. That's
indentured servitude, though, not prisoners.
yes.
Like
Even
prisoners
with the
in the
indentured
daytime.
servants, even with the
Yeah.
indentured servants, that wasn't a contract that they like implemented or said, "Oh, I want to sign this contract." No, that's not how it worked.
So I find it
No.
hard to believe that they would even require contracts then. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what the history says, but we know it was
I
no
know.
contract for your ass to become
Well,
a slave, basically.
That is what the history says. I understand that. But that would lead me to
what's up?
believe that if there's a contract and it has to be between two willing contractees or contractor and contractee, then I would believe that if it was written in history and that's what happened, that it wasn't indentured servitude, it was a job.
Well, they were both. They were both. You know what I mean? You got those who were political rivals. You got those who were part of the rebellion. You got those who were uh, being sentenced for
But I
crimes.
tried to explain to y'all that the government, the opposing government, like whatever government is sending these motherfuckers off, that's who the contract's with. That's how it
Yeah,
works.
and they're being
It's not the
committed to
contract.
the
No, but it's
custody of the
yes, it's
colony.
not the exactly. The contract's
Yeah,
not with
the
the
custody of
individual
the
because
colonies.
the individual is basically still property of whatever that government that had them prior to the United States having it. That's
And
literally how it works.
everybody in the colony is ruling under the name of
They're
the king.
basically coming here and they're coming here basically becoming free. They're gonna become free. That shit's still happening today, right now.
Well, back then they
After
would
they do
not
they
become
after they do their
free. It
little
was
work,
actually
no,
slavery.
no, that's not true. Nah, that's
No,
not true.
that's what I'm telling y'all.
The
It was the
home of
custody of the colony.
what?
It was the
Wait. This is
custody
the
of
home
the
of the
colony.
free. This is literally the land of the free. Like this is where people
No, man,
gain their
this is a
freedom.
P
This is why
now.
people.
The colonies are
No, but you're not understanding. I'm saying compared to other
Yeah.
lands,
The
you're
home of the
free
brave.
here. Like you don't have the rest. I'm being serious. You don't have the rest of that shit you got to deal with in them other places. That's what
the
I'm
colonies were
trying to
set
tell you
up
this.
by
It's a
what? The
fact, bro.
kings, right? The colonies were set up by the kings, right?
How they looking past that shit?
Ain't no king come and set up shit.
Man, listen, what you can say they didn't come, you can say that they did. The fact of the
Or
matter is,
exactly, it's the same shit today. These motherfuckers still getting sent
the
over here.
people who came, these
They
cats
still
that
send these
came here
motherfuckers
were
over
coming
here,
here in the
but
name of
we don't know. Hey, hold on, Chief. I am. What's crazy is we
setting up
still
these
got these motherfuckers coming over here.
plantations.
Hold on,
Spread the gospel.
Chief. I am. These motherfuckers still coming over here today, and we don't know who got contracts with them, even though they're not being, direct indentured servants. Who the fuck got contracts to bring these motherfuckers over here? It's the exact same shit. They've never been slaves in America. Nobody's been slaves in America, bro. Yeah. That slavery shit ends once you got your ass to America. Your ass was a servant, yeah. But you wasn't no slave. They're gonna
Servant
treat
and
you right.
slavery.
Teach you.
Servant, slave, and
Hold
employee are
on.
synonymous terms.
It's very similar. It's synonymous, but slightly different.
No.
Slightly different. When those people came over here, they wasn't. When those people came over here, they wasn't getting beat on and all of that shit. They was literally becoming apprentices and all of that. They was literally being taught shit. Yeah, it's how motherfuckers been like. That don't make no sense. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Anybody that's
just saying
going against that, that's insane. It's a fact.
They're just synonymous. That's why when they think of indentured servitude or slavery, their mind automatically goes to
beating
chattel slavery. Yeah. That's what their mind automatically goes, not knowing that there's
niggas
like
inside the big
levels.
house. Yeah, they was inside the big house. But then, yeah, like you said, you gonna have motherfuckers outside as well, picking the cotton and shit.
There you go. We go to all them fucking movies.
Yeah, it's all types of different shit. But not niggas on post getting their ass whipped and, like, come on, y'all didn't put a lot of these movies. Got people's minds. Yeah, got people's minds all fucked up.
Your name is Kobe.
You know damn well that's not happening in America. Who's getting their ass whooped over here? We don't do that. This ain't that land.
Yeah,
maybe over there.
Cell phones back then, so why niggas gonna stand around?
Tell you. Why you think motherfuckers is
it's a lie.
doing all of this shit?
Yes.
So y'all see it's a lie.
I think it's misinterpreted, like a lot of things.
It's very misinterpreted. Look, all right, look, in this lane, like I said, it's always been inventing and all of this shit that we still doing right now. Except we were doing a lot more back then. All of this shit they said about slavery is just they doing a little extra with it.
It's like
so y'all saying it's a lie that foreigners started the United States.
Oh yeah, we definitely saying that. We into indentured servitude now. How they actually was over here as indentured servants, so they couldn't have started the United States during the time they said.
They're still the property of them, but they wasn't getting their ass whooped on and shit. Motherfuckers was being free like they was getting freedom. All this shit that they told you, oh, you gonna be a slave forever. Where are you finding that? Even if you look at the stories of all of these slaves, they tell you how they eventually become free and do all of this crazy shit. So
over here and fell under our protection.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about all the so-called black slaves.
The slave codes.
Wait, but all the stories. Hold on, but all the stories that you guys heard, of all these so-called free blacks that were once slaves. I mean, weren't they supposed to always be slaves?
And that slavery shit didn't really come until like the late 1700s.
Which, according to Otto, the 1900s.
What about the 20-some odd niggers? Y'all tripping, bro.
Those were definitely indentured servants.
That shit was fake.
But there's definitely the slave codes.
That shit was fake.
Well, obviously the story as they said it was fake. But the people that they said that were on the boat, if those people are real, they were indentured. If they are real, they are indentured servants because of the fact that all of them end up having their freedom and a lot of them end up owning land and having slaves.
Okay, but they brought 20 servants for what? They brought 20 servants for what? What, like, come on, bro. What is these 20 niggas gonna do?
20 or something.
Yeah, man, they needed them 20. They needed them 20 Africans to build up the America, bro.
The 15%.
The 20 odd Negroes, bro. Yeah, this shit is odd. You're right. It's very odd.
All of
Nigga,
them
this shit ain't real, bro. Yeah, come on, bro.
Them niggas procreate each other.
Yeah, come on. Where the women at? Yeah, where the women? Y'all got to make more slaves, bro. We ain't creating no more slaves. The fuck, y'all gonna just keep bringing niggas in? Like, no women?
Sex slaves.
Yeah, like, just come on, bro.
Brought them over here to procreate with foreigners and shit.
It don't make
Not
no
to mention
Look,
that
man,
we
the
had
Indians,
pirates of the Caribbean, right, at that time.
the
So
Indians,
shit crazy.
the Indians, man, the Indians was too lazy. They ain't want to do shit. They had to go get 20 odd Africans from Angola to build up the
20
United States, bro.
20 niggas built the whole United States. We some bad motherfuckers.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
20 hardworking Mandingo niggas from the Igbo tribe built this shit up. All by they goddamn self.
The niggas is cold, dog. They cold.
When they started getting old, they took their ass to breeding farms. And that's how you get 40 million descendants of African slaves today.
Who that breed with though? There was no women that was brought over here with them though. Who was they breeding with? Was they breeding with the foreign women? So we all mulattoes, nigga.
That's how you niggas mixed with Europeans, because they was breeding with the Europeans.
Mulattoes.
Yeah, that nigga mulatto up like I tried to tell y'all.
Smoke is a mulatto, dog.
and mind you, these were supposed to be some Dutch people that stopped in some English people's turf at the time. So how are these Dutch speaking to these English people when they didn't speak English, so to speak, when they so-called arrived in Virginia with these 20 and odd Negroes?
Man, you guys are missing it, man. Benjamin Franklin told us in 1751 that all of those nations you just named was all swarthy niggas.
1851, brother. Get it right.
1751.
No.
Well, it didn't actually happen anyway, but I'm just, giving
I'm
some
talking about
theory behind.
in his letter
Exactly.
about
Say it again.
increase of mankind.
They believe in
He
all
said
this
in
fake
1751 all of those nations were swarthy.
You believe in fairy tales, bro.
Absolute
This
say
a
that
fairy
shit.
tale believing nigga.
They give you the benefit of the doubt because guess what? It was written down, right? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying the record reflects that all of those nations
Reconstruction
in that
is,
year were
a written record or
I'm not talking about Reconstruction.
No, but what you think that is, bro? You keep talking all this 15, 16, 13, bro. All that shit they giving you, it's fallacy, bro. It's fallacy, bro. You better go look into this shit, bro.
Well,
all right,
if that's the case, then you live a lie. You're living in a lie.
No, I'm living in reality. That's what I'm doing. That's the reason why I don't be going into all of that.
All that shit you said that didn't happen actually rules your current reality.
Hey, look,
unless it's heavily documented.
Your medical
hold
system,
on, no, unless it's heavily documented.
It all comes from the
Let me not
motherfuckers
say
that
that. It got to be heavily documented.
Those who said that the people that came over here, if they could just find those manifests, those the Epstein list, the manifest list, then they would be able to prove that they own land over here because all the people that were on the ship that came over here and eventually got their freedom and bought land. Y'all agree with that? That sounds realistic, right?
Well, it's realistic, but you probably have to do a little.
No, none of it sounds realistic. None of it sounds realistic, bro.
He's fucking delusional.
Why you say
I'm delusional?
Because you the only nigga, you the only person that thinks it's
realistic. Gone. Don't see y'all niggas tripping.
Oh shit, she gone? Okay, well, what the fuck?
Nobody believes.
You know why I brought that up?
Nobody thinks it's realistic, bro.
Okay.
Now go ahead, Chief I Am. Go ahead, live in your fairy tale. Keep on going.
Damn, you said you live in a fairy tale.
Speak your fallacy. Speak your fallacy. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
As of right now, shit is anybody's story. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you. His story, a narrative told,
anybody's
story that could be true or false. Hold on, ain't that what history is? A narrative, a story.
Let
Story is
them tell
told
it.
that could be true or false. It
They
literally
about
says
to
that.
come out with the
It's
new
a
slave
tale.
theory. Look, the new slave theory is about to come out. That the slaves were elderly white people.
Damn.
No, they were actually kids. That's why they didn't get free. The kids were coming over here as chimney sweepers in New York when it got cold in Canada. I know you heard of chimney sweepers before. They were coming over
Yeah, they
here
got
as
another name
miners,
for
and
'em in New York.
yeah,
They got another name for them. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, but they
Couple.
were coming over
Man,
here as kids.
a chimney sweet is a species of bat, bro. Now you tripping now, bro. You saying the kids was Batman and shit. Come on, bro. Stop it, my nigga.
How you think
Hey,
they
look
created
up
the
chimney sweeper, smoke. Look up chimney sweeper.
The Batman was
Oh,
a
you
little.
said chimney sweeper. Okay, then it might be something different. Go ahead.
Hey, Lil Yost, that's crazy what you just said in chat. That's wild. Come on, say y'all, my niggas.
So they weren't getting old people as indentured servants. They were getting the young ones that would grow into what they wanted them to. So no, nobody over 21 was being snatched as a indentured servants. They was getting these young kids and they wasn't releasing them after 3 to 7 years. These people would become indentured servants for life. They're not gonna release them at 25 and say, "Hey, go be free."
Because they don't
When
know
you
nothing
had
else. That's just like saying a motherfucker that go to prison gets some time of reform and he come out a different person. Come on, man. They don't know nothing else. So they volunteered to stay for life, nigga. They probably married
that's
to the
what I'm telling
wife.
you. That's what
Yeah.
was going on with this indentured servitude. They were not getting grown people. They were called spirits. Spirits would come whisk the people away. Did you ever hear about the Viking
They even
raids?
say they was calling them street Arabs and shit.
The
You
Viking
heard
raid.
about the Viking raids, right? You heard
Yeah,
about
but
the
not
Barbary
probably
slave trade,
not
right?
though, brother. Because look, does yours involve them almost dying of starvation because they couldn't navigate the waters right?
What'd you say now?
Look up a street Arab.
I said the Vikings. Because everybody got this notion that the Vikings were these great sailors and they would
Hey,
go
hey, who got the screen? Wait, but who got the screen? Look up a street Arab.
a street Arab.
Street Arab. Look up a street Arab. Don't put up nothing else. Just type in street Arab on Google. That's what he talking about. That's what they called him too. That was another name for him. Street Arab.
I mean, if I was going and snatching motherfuckers up in another country, I'm not gonna go through all the trouble of writing up a contract and be like, even if you is a little dude, they give me more incentive not to fucking do it anymore. They're not, you know what I'm saying? It's just if it's an adult that I might think I have problems with, like I can't fucking keep them where I want them to keep them. But other than that, I wouldn't write up no contract for them. They my slaves, shit.
No, what was happening? The contract went to the captain of the boats that were coming over there, whisking the indentured servants away. So once they got on the boat, that was it. They never knew what their
What,
fate
what,
was.
what year are you talking about when you're saying this is happening? What
This was
year?
the 1600s up until the 1800s. I mean, late
Oh man, what
1800s.
this is? You know what I mean? What this is? You can't even see this shit.
Chimney sweeps, my boy. That's Batman right there.
Well, yeah. After that, look up street Arabs. I'm telling you, it's gonna be way better because this ain't really showing a lot.
Yep. Bruce Wayne dad was supposedly like a chimney sweep and
That
became
means he was an indentured servant or a slave, bro.
yeah.
Yep, right there.
But that
Street
nigga became
Arabs.
rich in the movie though.
Here we go.
And
Here we
then it's
go. Here we go.
so from rags to riches and shit, you know?
Well,
This
that was due to the political movement they made under
Let's scroll
eugenics
down.
banner.
Let's see these. Let's see these photos of these street Arabs. It's one on the second row. On the second, the second on the second row. That them little filthy motherfuckers. Let me not. No, let me not say that. Filthy little
Nigga said
filthy
the little
pale
filthy,
skins.
little filthy mongrel, huh? You gonna call him a mongrel, huh?
Little filthy fuckers.
Bastard. They're the racist niggas, you know that?
No, I don't even try to be.
You racist nigga. Smoke condones it. He approves that message.
The motherfuckers was
Type in how
filthy.
many indentured servants were sent to Delaware, since that was the first so-called state.
You know what they call scabs at the same time, at that time frame? Because that would be what a union worker would call a motherfucker that comes step in and take his place when they refuse to work. They bring them from out of state.
Covering it up. Like you covering for basically.
Yeah.
Scab just cover the wound. Cover the wound.
Yeah, but they wanted the scab to harden up because they were gonna send them right back down that chimney the next day.
Rinse and repeat, my boy.
Bruh.
That's cold blooded, man. Now look, we look at that like that's a bad job and shit, you know, but that's really not a bad job. Knowing what we know now, that was probably one of the most hygienic jobs they could have at that time frame for kids.
What?
Yeah, man.
The monster.
Straight
He
up,
yellow
man.
funny. For them kids, he right.
Hey, look,
He's right. Them
that
little
that
filthy motherfuckers.
that
I mean,
charcoal, nigga, that charcoal is pure charcoal. You know that ash that that's just that's what they use to make soap, man. Lie.
Man, sometimes
shit, them
the
little
chimney
motherfuckers
would be
filthy,
on when
bro.
they would
Fuck
send
you
the
talking
kids down, bro.
Oh
No,
man,
about?
the
come on,
kids'
dog. You
life
done fucked the
expectancy was
whole
like 3
up, bro.
years.
Why you do that, dog? Why you do that, man?
Is it the chimney was
You gotta
on?
get gory with it and shit. Yeah, but if you don't believe that, they even cut their feet off if they
They
didn't.
was baking. They was baking pale skins. It was a baked pale skin.
Yeah, nigga, that's cold blooded. Well, how
Oh
many kids
shit.
they lose a
Oh
week?
shit.
Nigga? How many kids they lose a year?
Man, it was a lot. They only lived like 2 to 3 years, bro, because it was a lot of different types of chimneys. It was a lot of
Smell like
mansions
baked
and
potato skins and
Well,
shit.
how so many of them motherfuckers get over here?
Smell like baked potato
man, they
skins.
were
Damn, if they
snatching
was
them up,
going out
bro.
so fast like that, you would think that them little motherfuckers
Bruh,
extinct.
that shit. The little, little baked potato skins and shit.
Them niggas should have been extinct in 10 years. Nigga,
That
get the
shit
fuck out.
crazy, bro.
All they
Little
kids
street
come over here
area.
just to die in the chimney, nigga. Come on, your bad self.
Man, they weren't just chimney
Hey,
sweepers.
they
They
was.
were also picking cotton,
Hey,
picking
bruh.
everything.
Hey, Lil Yost, I was just about to say orphan trains. Them motherfuckers was on them orphan trains all that time just to get on, just to motherfucking get one of them jobs and pass away. That's cold shit.
I think it's some
That's some cold shit, bruh.
realize that some of this
They took
information
the.
was made to create racism and the inherited
I ain't even
environment
trying to
for
be funny. That's
racism.
fucked up. Let's stop. This is fucked up, bro.
These conversations,
This is why they wanted to.
topics like
This is
this,
why they wanted to
create
lie
a
to us
racist
and tell us
environment.
bullshit. Exactly. This is why they wanted to tell us all this bullshit. They're like these fucking niggers.
Yeah, man, they making us into
We
this
can't
shit.
stand them because we can't stand these motherfuckers. I don't think
Who
we ever
has
could.
access to the
They had to
screen?
get us. They had to get us comfortable to
Hey,
liking these
could you type
motherfuckers.
in what was the life expectancy of an indentured servant coming to the Americas? It'll tell you right there that they only live like 3 to 7
15 years.
years.
Oh
It,
shit.
3
Oh
to
shit.
7 years, my boy. Check.
Shit. I thought that 15. I tried to give them. I gave him 8 more, bro.
So
I
look,
gave
they
8
brought
more.
millions of these people over here, right?
This is cold.
right.
Okay, so look,
Millions.
and they only last for 2
Filthy
years,
fucks.
bro. From
They're
the,
like dogs.
from the
They're like
time
dogs,
that
bro.
they started bringing them over here to now, you know that there would be billions of motherfuckers dead.
God damn.
Billions, my boy.
Yeah, because they
That
just
was
bring
from
them
the
by the
1600s
boatload,
up until
bro.
now, bro.
And they all children, bro. That would
Not
mean
all children. They were
oh,
children. They were
They're
children.
bringing
A lot of them
females
were
too.
children and
They're
females.
bringing
They
females.
needed to
More
impregnate the
females.
kid.
Yes, way more females and kids, and some men too, but way
brought
more
girls over
kids.
here to make babies. So would that have slowed the
Hey, hold
reproduction?
on.
Man, stop
Wait, hold on.
lying.
Was that the mulattoes? Is that where the
It
mulattoes
just
came?
seems
Oh
kind of
shit. That where
trivial,
the
man.
mulattoes
Peace
came
to the
from?
Kind of
panel. Peace to the chat.
comic
Hey,
booky.
shit. Is
What
that
you
where the
racist
mulattoes came from?
motherfuckers out here talking about, man? Y'all racist.
Straight up.
Racist. Did you see what
We
they did
are.
with that oil rig? How they did that nigga?
Nah,
The
he
oil
should
rig nigga.
admonish us, bro. Admonish the motherfuckers that's responsible for this conversation because
Hey, I don't think
we
he's seen
are
that.
out of control with this shit. And
The
look,
oil rig team got rid of
admonish
a nigga like
Smoke
you.
too because he is allowing it.
Motherfucker.
Man, we didn't write this. We didn't write this script. We reading it.
I think
Yeah.
we did write it, or people that look like us
Oh, it's
wrote
bitch noxious.
Oh, hey,
Bitch noxious.
motherfuckers.
What's up,
Late
bitch
night
noxious?
ammo time.
it. Now,
You ain't heard about
hey,
you
you
ain't
know,
heard about
Rob Knox came
the nigga
heard somebody talking about his people.
Superman. You ain't heard about the nigga that got sick on the oil rig and they kicked him off the oil rig and left him on the dock
They
and
tossed
he
him.
fell into the water.
They tossed
Fell
him.
into the water and
They
drowned.
tossed him. That's gonna be you next, bro.
That's
That's gonna be you
cold.
next, Super. When are you gonna go on your next trip, bro? Go on your next oil rig trip, please, Super. Please tell me you still do
What
oil
had
rigging.
happened?
You
Man,
You
better
still
y'all
an
not
oil
pray
rigger,
on my
bro?
auto.
downfall,
I'm,
man.
I'm not praying on it, bro. I'm just hoping you still doing oil rigging, bro. That's a good job for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, this all started because I showed a video about a nigga that got sick on an oil rig and the white folks put him on the dock. He balled over in the fetal position and fell into the lake. They
The
found
Super
his
need
body
to
the
for
next
sure.
day. After they said,
That should have been Super.
he got in the Uber. After they said he got into an Uber and rolled off.
Yeah, but
Uber
he's
on a
the
boat.
captain, nigga. The captain has the highest privilege. Why would they just drop the captain off?
Man, that's some bullshit. Oh, this was recent. I thought this was some.
See, you hear this nigga?
Yeah, but if
See,
I mean, you know what I'm saying. If he got in the
Hold on,
Uber, but he
y'all.
probably fell in the
Smoke.
river.
Smoke. How do
It's
I
cool.
end the stream?
All right, that's all, folks.
Smoke signal.
Hold on, let me see. I probably got to do it. You want me to end it?
Well, that's all, folks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if I can end it on my own. You say you are live. It says remove. I think that's how I end it.
Oh shit.
Let me see. Yeah, I ain't familiar with this type of setup.
Who is that?
This some of this AP.
Background.
This is AP
Somebody
type
what?
shit, double streaming and
Shut
all
your
that.
mouth, motherfucker.
Nigga back there whistling in his sleep.
Yeah.